Hello and welcome. My name's Emily, and today I have for you a yoga sequence for the heart chakra or Anahata chakra. And we'll find this heart chakra within our heart space, so within the center of our chest, kind of within the chest bone here. And our heart chakra is responsible for our cardiovascular system. And when we find we have imbalances within our heart chakra, it's often that we can have some respiratory illnesses or some breathing difficulties. But when this chakra is balanced, generally we find it a lot easier to create some more emotional connections with friends or family and new people. So today we're going to move through a nice little sequence to just balance out our heart chakra, open ourselves up to some more loving feelings and emotions, and hopefully provide the body with some nice, fresh, deep breathing as well, especially if we do struggle with our breath a little bit. So to begin, we're going to start standing, and we'll come into a standing back bend. So bringing the feet together, toes are touching. We're pulling the kneecaps up and engaging those quads. We're building our foundation. Tuck the tailbone down and pull the belly in, rolling the shoulders down the back, and a slight tuck in your chin. As we inhale, reach the arms out and up. And we can either bring the palms together in prayer here, or maybe interlace the fingers, keep the index fingers pointed. And as we exhale, gently pressing the hips forwards and coming into a slight back bend. So the arms go back behind us and we gaze up towards the ceiling. And we do want to be able to breathe comfortably here. So if you're really struggling to breathe, pull the hips in a little. We don't really have to be back bending that far at all. We don't have to be all the way back here. Just finding your comfortable variation of your standing back bend. And the core is engaged here. Pull the belly in. And we can imagine a nice green glow within our heart space on our chest to connect with our heart chakra, our Anahata. Opening up the chest. One more breath. Exhale. We can gently release. We can bring the hands down, maybe give them a little bit of a shake out. And then bringing our weight into our right foot, really grounding down through those toes. We can bend the left knee and bring the heel towards the sit bone. Bringing the palm to the inside of the leg, inside of the foot, coming into our Lord of the Dance pose. So we can begin to lean forwards, lengthen through the right arm and press the back foot into the palm. So again, we come into a slight back bend here. We have this nice opening in the chest, opening the heart. And again, it's really not about how we look in these asanas that we practice. It's all about bringing balance to you and your body. And we practice these asanas so that we can sit comfortably in meditation. So it doesn't matter if you're not in what you feel like is the full expression of this asana. This is just your current variation. This is what it currently looks like in your body. One more breath. Exhale, we can gently release, lengthen that leg down, maybe shake out those legs again. We can bring the weight into our left foot, bend the right knee, and then bring in the right hand to the inside of our right foot. And inhale, we can lengthen through the left arm, press the back of the foot into the palm, coming into our Lord of the Dance. Opening the chest. We can keep visualizing our green glow. And we're moving with the breath today to really open up that heart chakra. One more breath here. Exhaling, gently bringing yourself back down to your center. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, fold forwards, generous bend in the knees. And then just from here, we can bring ourselves down to sit, however that may look for you. Just bringing yourselves down to sit with the legs extended in front. We can then bend the right knee and bring the foot over your left leg. We can keep this left leg extended if we have any pain in the hip or knee today. Or maybe that foot hooks round to your right hip, grounding down through that right sit bone. Inhale, sit nice and tall. Exhale, twisting round to your right, looking back behind the shoulder. We can hug on to the right leg. And sitting nice and tall through the spine here, so we feel, again, this nice, beautiful opening in the chest, in the collarbones. Slow, deep breaths. One more breath. Exhaling gently, coming back to our center. We can unbind the legs, lengthen them down the mat, maybe give them a shake out. And then bending the left knee, take the leg over your right, and then either keeping the right leg extended or hooking it round to your left hip. Grounding down through the left sit bone. Inhale, sitting nice and tall. Exhale, twisting round to your left. Looking back behind the shoulder, feeling that beautiful, juicy twist in the spine. And opening up that chest, opening up the heart space. We can visualize our green glow. One more breath. Exhale, we can gently come back to center. We can bring the legs round to one side and just bring yourself up to kneeling. If we have some blocks, we can grab hold of these and we'll just place them by the sides of the ankles as we'll find our way into our camel pose. So we'll take it nice and slowly as we are moving with our breath today. So bringing the hands behind the back and placing them on top of the butt cheeks, almost like we're putting our hands into our pockets, our back pockets. So the fingers are pointing down towards the mat. And we're opening up the chest, draw the elbows together. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, we can gently press the hips forwards and open up the chest, coming into our camel. And we can either keep the hands on the lower back here, or maybe we can bring one hand down to our blocks if we're using today. We can keep the chin in towards the chest, or maybe we can gently drop the head down behind. And some nice deep breaths here. We can connect to our green glow. And wherever we are, we're pressing the hips forwards here, but keep pulling the belly and ribs in. We don't want to feel any pain in that lower back. So if we are, we can just bring ourselves up. Bring those hands back to your lower back and keep opening up through the chest instead. Wherever we are, nice deep breaths today. Remembering it's not about how we look in these asanas. It's all about how we feel. One more breath. Exhaling, wherever we are in our camel, gently release, and we'll just take it down to a child's pose for a moment so we can pop our blocks aside and just take yourself down to a child's pose. We can have the knees together and arms down by the sides for a release in the lower back. One more breath. On your inhale, find your way back up onto the hands and knees, and then bring the hands to the edges of your mats. Exhale, bring yourself down to lying on your fronts. And with the hands underneath, just underneath the shoulders here, maybe slightly out to the edges of the mat. On your inhale, pressing the palms into the mat, lift the chest up into our Cobra Pose or Bhujangasana. Again, another nice chest opening here, a little bit of a back bend as well. We can press the pelvis gently into the mat, keep pulling the belly and ribs in. Roll the shoulders down the back and tuck the elbows into the sides of the body here. Opening up that chest. Maybe we're down here today. Maybe we're up nice and high. Again, just working with your body. It really does not matter how high you lift yourself up. Connecting with your green glow. One more breath. Exhale. Slowly lowering yourself back down with control. We can bring the legs together, arms down by the sides of the body. Bend both the knees, bring the heels in towards the sit bones, and then holding on to the backs of the feet. Inhale, pressing into the palms. We lift the thighs up off the mat, and the chest lifts up too, coming into our bow pose. And nice deep breaths again. Opening that chest. Lifting up the heart as you inhale. One more breath. Exhale. We can gently lower ourselves back down. We can release the legs. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders and gently pressing into them so we come back up. And we can just find our way to sit for a moment. We'll finish with a wheel pose here. And this can be quite an intense back bend, so we'll really take our time. And it does not matter if you can bring yourself up off the mat or not. So we will take our time. So let's find our way to lying on our backs to begin. We may want our blocks here if we have any blocks just to hand. So we can bend the knees to bring the soles of the feet onto the mat. We can then bring the palms to the outsides of the ears. So where the hands come in line with the ears here. If you have long hair, you may want to just pop it aside for a moment so we don't rip our hair out. So bring those palms at the top of the shoulders, but quite tucked into the ears here. Tucking the elbows in slightly. We can always place some blocks underneath the palms here instead, if we feel like we may need some support. Maybe this is as far as we go in our wheel pose today. If we can take it further, we can press the hands and feet into the mat, and maybe we bring the top of the head to rest on the mat like so. Perhaps this is our wheel pose. If we can take it further, we can press into the hands, lifting the head up from the mat, coming into our wheel pose. Opening up the chest, deep back bend. Imagine your green glow. One more breath. Exhale slowly with control. Bring the crown of the head back down to the mat. We can then roll down onto the back. Bring both the knees into your chest and give yourself a very generous hug. We'll just rest here for a counter from that deep back bend. Breathing into the belly. One more breath. And then we can roll over onto either the left or right side and very gently find your way back to seat. And then we have it, our yoga sequence for the heart chakra, our Anahata chakra. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. You can always like this video, save for later to come back to time and time again. Maybe leave me a comment in the section below and subscribe to my channel for more yoga content. Thanks again for joining me. I'll see you guys next time. Namaste.